Jaquavius Smith, better known as Glokknine, just him himself has been arrested for 52 felonies. So we're talking.
Hey, what's up? This your boy Big Man. You already know what it is, man. So let's get right to it. Okay, so today we're going to be talking about Glokknine. Now, it looks like Glokknine had caught him some time, man. Now, this story has been developing for several years now, it seems, man. Or at least the last year. Now, Glokknine and another rapper from Orlando by the name of Hotboii have been in the public eye a lot lately because there was a RICO case that came down involving both the rappers. Like, it was a huge operation. I think it was called Operation X Force or X Factor or something like that. I mean, they went all out with it, right? And both of these rappers got caught up in this because of the rising crime level and the rising amount of shootings in the Orlando area. Now, Orlando is known as a tourist destination. Nobody ever knew it had this whole gangster side to it until Glokknine and Hotboii popped up, right? Well, after they both were arrested, each of them have had their trial pretty much play out in the court of public opinion and, in the news, man. Now, Glokknine has caught several different charges, man. He's been locked up a lot. We can say that much, right? There's mugshots of Glokknine all over the place where you saw he caught a weapon case here. He was involved in a shooting here. All these different things. Well, he went to the court yesterday and he wanted to see what he would finally get in this case or in this situation after pleading to the judge that he wanted some leniency. Now, before we get to the story and the specifics, do me a favor. Make sure you hit that like button, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and man, let's get it. Okay, now that we got that out of the way, man, let's talk about this Glokknine situation, man. Now, Glokknine is looking at 7+ years fed time, man. So he's going to be doing possibly 7 years in federal prison, right? Now, earlier this year, there was a story I did where I talked about the fact that Glokknine had pled guilty to some weapons charges. And it looked like some other charges he was going to beat. But it came out in court that he really wasn't beating the charges. He just pled guilty and was really looking for leniency. But let's look at this story from the Orlando Sentinel. Now, the headline says this. It says, Orlando rapper Glokknine sentenced to 7 years in federal prison for gun charges and for some type of aid fraud. And you know what aid fraud I'm talking about? The funds that went out last year and was supposed to be helping small businesses and stuff, right? Now, the story starts off by saying an Orlando rapper who goes by the stage name Glokknine was sentenced Wednesday to about 7 years in federal prison after pleading guilty in July to identity theft, weapons charges, according to court records. Jaquavius Smith, 21 years old, fraudulently applied for and received $10,000 in federal Paycheck Protection Program funds meant to help struggling businesses affected by what's going on right now, right? Now, to be real, every story we do involving PPP, nobody just clean gets away. Like, I'm starting to feel like if you were like, it's too easy to get caught up in that situation, man. Like they obviously went into that knowing they were going to have a system of checks and balances to make sure that if anybody was misusing those funds, they would be caught, man. And they've been on the warrant. They've been looking for people, and it's not hard to find because you have to file all this stuff with the federal government. You're not going to be able to hide from that. So hopefully, man, people learn their lesson. Next time that something like this happens or some type of, programs like this happen, just stay away if you don't have the right use for them. Like, you're not going to use them for your business because everybody, I'm talking about everybody, then got caught. You know what I'm saying? Who were allegedly misusing these funds. We'll say that. Now, the story continues by saying this. It says Smith, who's Glokknine, used his bank account to receive the deposit, but the identity of another person named in court records as SS for the application. Law enforcement recovered $7,000 from Smith's bank account. So he was trying to hit him for $10,000, man. I mean, that's a lot of money. Don't get me wrong. $10,000 is a lot of money. But if you're already a rap star, or you're already doing your thing in a rap game, what in the world, that's just not a smart decision to make. But I'll continue. He also pleaded guilty to possession of an unregistered firearm after hiding a stolen semi-automatic rifle and ammunition in his grandparents' garage. That's wild, man. Stop right there. So they're saying that Glokknine hid a semi-automatic rifle in his grandparents' garage? Like, wouldn't just... Okay, man, let's continue. Since the rifle's barrel length was under 16 inches, it was supposed to be registered with the National Firearms Registration and Transfer Record. So based on this story, he was supposed to register the weapon in a special way or whatever, right? Now, I don't know if he knew that going in or whatnot, but you never know. You never know. Now, the story finishes by saying these things. It says, Smith, who's Glokknine, described by Orange County Sheriff John Mena as a leader of the Army gang based in Mercy Drive area, has a felony record dating back to when he was 16 years old. He also pleaded guilty to being a felon in possession of a firearm, which is, man, that one always gets you, you know? And the fact that he's been having a felony record since he was 16, that's wild, man. I mean, at least you could say he probably was really living his raps, if that's a good or a bad thing. I ain't saying it's a good thing. I ain't saying it's a bad thing. For some fans, they love that. You know what I mean? Now, also it says, earlier this year, authorities announced a racketeering, influence, and corruption organization charges, now that's a RICO act, against Smith and more than 20 other people in connection with an ongoing gang feud in Central Florida that has resulted in multiple shootings and homicides. As a rapper, Smith is known for his 2018 hit 10%. Now, there was also a story, and that was it for that story, but there was also a story that came out from allhiphop.com, and it said this. It said Glokknine headed to prison, begs for lighter sentence. Now, I'm just going to touch on a couple of points in here where it said Glokknine requested a lenient prison sentence after pleading guilty to defrauding the government out of a PP loan and weapons possession. Republic Records artist Glokknine is asking a judge for a lighter sentence as he prepares to go to prison. Now, it looks like he got 7+ years in this situation, right? Now, of those 7+ years, I don't know if that's a lighter sentence or not, because it looks like he was looking at something like 92 months. It seems like it's almost on the same amount of time that he was going to receive originally in this case. So it looks like Glokknine, he got those 7 years, but I don't think the judge was hearing him when he was begging for leniency. Now, the story goes on to talk about the fact that he was facing, 97 months in jail. And according to this story, Glokknine went as far as writing a personal letter to the judge, letting the judge know that he was going to move out of Orlando as soon as he gets out of jail or whatnot. But it looks like he still got almost the same amount of time, man. They wasn't hearing that, man. And let that be a lesson, man, I guess. Like, when you live in that life, allegedly, you know, when you ask for leniency, they might not be hearing you, you know, that's for real. Now, to be honest, the story gets worse because Glokknine is also facing an attempted murder charge and racketeering charges. Both cases are still pending. So it looks like he's got the RICO case hanging over his head, as well as an attempted murder charge, which I thought originally that he beat. But according to this story, he still has that hanging over his head as well. Now, to be real, Glokknine's looking at a lot of time regardless. Hopefully, they could work something out to where he can still receive whatever he can off of his raps and the influence or impact that he made on the rap game while he was here. But this is a telltale sign of, man, things going bad, bad, bad. Now, with that, this being your boy Big Man, what do you guys think? Do you think that Glokknine was really out here just doing way too much and got caught up in all these different cases? I mean, the PPP loan thing, those 7 years and with the weapon, both of those are two just bad decisions. Like, those are just decisions. Like, do I do this or not type of deal. And if you see, like, with the whole PPP loan thing, you see everybody, especially entertainers who try to dabble in that and used it for alleged malicious intent, man, they got smoked out. Like, there ain't no way, like, they got caught immediately. Like, the one dude, remember the guy from Love and Hip Hop? He got caught, like, instantly. Like, they were on him instantly. So it's like, it feels like that was like kind of almost like a honey trap for you guys, man, but for people who are going to misuse it. Now, there's people who use those funds for the right things, and, you know, that's what the purpose of it. But, man, it's cold out there now. To be real, or the second part of my question, what do you guys think as far as him being sentenced all this time? Do you think he'll be able to come back in the rap game and still be able to shine? Or will people long forget about Glokknine when all this is said and done? Now, with that, this has been your boy Big Man. Do me a favor. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. And make sure you hit that notification bell so that way you get a notification every time I drop this hot content. And we out of here. Peace.